house that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zeta.
And I'm Kelly. And you're listening to
Two Sides and the Truth. So glad y'all are back to join us again today. A little bit off schedule because of the holidays, so bear with us if it's not downloading on the normal day. Doing what we can do.
We got them coming at you, though. As soon as we get them, we're going to get them to you.
Yes, correct. So we have survived the holidays.
Yay!
We're here to talk about it, and to a degree, and see kind of what was up, and talk about New Year's and what's coming up with New Year's. We're excited about that. So by the time this one comes out, it'll be about the time New Year's hits, like within a day or two. And so that's kind of what we have going on today. And also a few other little things that we thought of here and there the last week. It's funny because I do this, and I think Kelly does it too, but I think she just types it in her computer. I think of something, and I have to text her to remind me because I won't remember, A, where I wrote it, B, that I even wrote it down.
So you have to rely on my spotty memory.
Yes.
Hopefully I'll remember to remind you.
Yes. I'm like texting her. Okay, I think this is funny, so remind me in a few days.
We'll see if
I'm not sure if it's funny or not. Remind me in a few days. So that's kind of what we did this week. And the one that got me this week was my hair. I was fixing my hair, and I go through cycles in my hair where, you just have a look for like a week. Like that's your look for like 2 weeks or something.
I feel you.
And it's usually because you found like a t-shirt or like a jacket that goes with the look, or a hat. I don't know. And it becomes your look for a week or two. At least I do that. And so I go through braid looks, bun or braid looks. And I'm the queen of the messy braid. Like I love a good messy braid. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was thinking, how did I get to this point that I'm literally styling myself around having messy braids, like not clean, cute ones. And so I'm thinking about it, and I was like, when I was pregnant with Zoe, and right before I was pregnant with Zoe, I used to be the queen of space buns.
Yeah.
So about 1995, 96, I was all about some space buns. And I would wear 2 big space buns on my head with chopsticks in them half the time.
Cute.
Yeah, And that was my go-to hairstyle when I was pregnant with Zoe. Mm-hmm. And I would always have my space buns, and I was known for my space buns everywhere I went. And then it became pigtails, just like pigtails, 2 pigtails. And now, mind you, I'm in my 20s at this point. And then it became 2 French braids. And then I got divorced, and I chopped my hair off, and it became 2 miniature pigtails. At this point, I'm in my 30s. And if you talk about before the space buns, it was all different kinds of braids as well, because my mom would always double braid it for me.
Yeah.
But then I went to the messy braids, and that's what started this messy braid evolution, where they have just gotten messier and messier to where only now about 3 inches are actually braided.
Yeah. There's not even all the hair in the braids.
No, definitely not. That would mess up the whole look. So as I'm braiding my hair the other day, and I'm putting my, my cap on or whatever, I'm laughing at myself, and I'm just like, this is not even a hairstyle. Like you're not even like actually making a hairstyle. You're trying to make where it looked like you rolled out of bed and your braid was just a perfect level of messiness. Like not too messy, but definitely looks like you were in bed asleep, possibly.
Yes.
That's the look I'm going for. So I went from the just when been effed hair to the messy, might have just slept really good hair. Yeah. That's where I am in life.
Might have still been effed with those.
Could have been, but I probably wouldn't have slept as well. Yeah. I don't know. But I would have if it was right in the beginning, probably. But I don't know. Anyways, I was just laughing at my hair. Do you go through stages where you do stuff like that?
Yeah. I mean, I go through stages with my hair, but I keep it long for so long. But there have now been 2 times in my life where I dramatically chopped it.
Yeah.
One being now. Yeah, one being right now. And I love it. It makes me feel like a whole new personality because it's so different from before. And I love it. But it's crazy.
Does it affect how you're dressing? Are you getting dressed and you're like, this looks like a spy today?
I definitely am wearing. Not that anyone could tell that I'm wearing more black because
yeah,
that's my color. But I'm definitely wearing more black. Like
I think you're wearing more rock and roll accessories.
Yeah.
That's what I have noticed has changed. You have more edgy accessories.
Yeah, so that's where I'm going towards now. This is new me, new hair, new me.
Yeah, now you're a rock and roll goth spy.
I mean, I love it.
All of the above.
I'm trying to do my best here.
Yeah, my look is just woke up, grabbed my boyfriend's baseball cap, and stole Beth Dutton's jacket.
Yeah.
That's the look I'm going for. I did get dressed yesterday, and Rick's like, that's a combination.
Good job.
And I was like, I know, right? It looks good.
I love it. I love the things that you put together.
I'm like, I got my holy t-shirt with my leopard jacket and a baseball cap and my messy braids.
Yeah. My boyfriend definitely is digging the Russian spy vibes that I'm giving off, especially when I leave my hair straight and I don't like curl it.
Yeah.
I have it all straight, my bangs straight. He's like, yeah. He told me the other day, say something in Russian.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know a single word.
No.
Vodka.
I'm not doing that right. That's about it. Vodka.
That's all I got. Vodka. Yeah, no, it's so funny how one thing like your haircut or, it can be a new pair of shoes, whatever, can change your entire look that you're going for.
So true.
With me, what was it that set this off? I don't even know what it was that set it off. I guess winter, and I just had to wear more boots. I just needed more warm shoes. That's the only thing I can think of. What can I wear with my boots? That's just the hole it takes you down. Because I go through stages where I want to wear dressy stuff all the time, or I want to wear dresses, which I'm a dress person anyways. I'm being forced into pants right now.
I know, because it's cold.
Yeah, even now I keep catching myself trying to find pants that look good under dresses, like I'm a kid again. Because when I was a kid, I had to wear a dress all the time. Like I was in a dress stage. Same stage I'm currently in, and so I'd wear pants underneath them. And my mom, back in the late 70s, there was Holly Hobbie dresses. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Okay, Holly Hobbie was this little like character that was real popular, and she had like a big bonnet on and like these long dresses that were floral. Mm-hmm. She kind of looked like she should be on Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, okay.
And Little House on the Prairie was real popular at the time, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
And but her name was Holly Hobbie, and it was like home decor and whatever. Well, we were poor, so I didn't have any of that stuff. But I would get hand-me-down dresses of my friends. Her mom would give us her dresses, so I did have some dresses that way. But it looked like you're a prairie girl. That's the look I was going for.
Holly Hobbie.
Yes, and I wanted to look like I was on the prairie because Zola and I always pretend like we were cowboys and Indians. So this was like right up my alley. But my mom would make me wear jeans when it was cold outside, so I'd wear full-on jeans under a floor-length dress.
I love it.
I was like, I'm not giving up the jeans. The dress. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
I've been pushing through. I've frozen a little bit, but I've been still wearing my dresses. I'm just getting tights and like the line tights.
I was surprised when you showed up today in a dress.
I mean, I'm pushing through, man. I wore a dress on Thursday night when it was the freaking coldest night, and I still went out and I had an outfit picked out, and I was like, this is totally, even when I threw on my biggest, longest jacket, it was cold, but
you're going to feel it.
I don't care, man. Yeah. I ended up taking off like a couple of layers that night because I got so hot.
Tell them about your layers.
See, I layer up now, not only because it's cold, but when I go out, because I take my clothes off when I drink.
Yes, she said that, and I was like, we talked about this earlier, and I was like, you came home with all your clothes? She was like, no, I didn't.
No, actually, I didn't. That's what happens. We said something about when you drink, we do something, and they're like, what you do is you take off your clothes.
Because she doesn't act crazy. She just starts removing clothes.
I definitely end up losing an article of clothing every time that I get drunk.
Yeah.
And I got drunk on Thursday night.
So you're now missing an article of clothing.
I'm now missing it. It might be at the Rocket. I have a memory that I took it off after I got done singing one time because I was up on stage and I got hot and I took it off. Actually, I think I took it off while I was singing. Maybe that's why they were clapping so loud. Okay, anyway. Oops. Okay, I know how to make a show. You know what I mean? I know how to put on a show. So
everyone's like Rocket, Texas.
I'm gonna have to call them and be like, did I leave my little jacket out there? I don't know.
My bad.
It's okay. I made it home.
We got a gift from a listener, and she messaged me on Friday morning, and she had told me ahead of time she was sending it, and then she messaged me on Friday morning. I believe it was it Friday? Friday at some point. Yeah, it was Friday because I had a half day. And she said, you should be getting something in the mail today. And I was like, oh, thank you very much. I'll try to hold off to open it until I see Kelly. But she's really hungover right now. So, because she would just text me and you were like, oh my God. The listener was like, LOL.
She had herself a good
I was
night
like, she had a
night.
good time last night.
I did. We had so much fun. Happy Mel lives out in Frost now, so she's close to me. And so she's like, hey, girl, if you want to ride with me tonight, I'll come pick you up. You'll just have to stay till closing. And I'm like, deal. Yeah. So she came pick me up. So I had a little too much fun.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to drive. It makes it a lot easier. Makes it a lot easier. So that was your Thursday, right? And so Christmas was on Sunday.
Yes.
So what did you do for your holiday festivities? Like now that they're out of the way, what was you hung out with the boyfriend and the kid?
Yeah. So we went to my parents on Christmas Eve.
Right.
Because I always go to my parents on Christmas Eve. I usually spend the night and then have Christmas morning with them as well. But since we're now we're kind of into our relationship now, I like to be able to give as much time as he gives to my family. Like I like to give to his family. I like to keep it equal. Right. And so we made it so that we went to my parents on Christmas Eve, and then we were at his house and went to see his mom, and then his kids came home on Christmas Day.
Okay.
So it was a nice little balance. It was fun, and I definitely enjoyed being able to be at home and just chill and not have to worry about traveling or anything like that on Christmas Day. So
it makes a world of difference.
Yes.
Well, we went to the casino.
Oh,
so
casino? Are we millionaires now?
Sadly, no.
Oh, Zeta, you had one job, okay?
I know. I tried. And I came closer to Mary and Tony because I went with Mary and her brother Tony, and we went in there, and Rick gave me $300 for Christmas for casino money, and so I was like, all right, I'm not going to spend more than this $300, so I don't go backwards on my Christmas. So I go, and we all play the slots. That's all we play, and we're kind of playing together. Sometimes we'd break up, but Tony had brought, put like $100 in, and he's at like $250, I think, when I looked. And I came in with $300, and my goal was to leave with no less than zero of cash. Like I wasn't touching my cards.
Yeah.
And so I was like 300. I get to $60. Mary is pretty much losing from the beginning. She did not,
oh, no.
did not have a good day.
Oh no.
She had a few moments, but overall. And so she had to go back to the ATM once. Maybe twice.
What did she start with?
I don't know. I think all of us were trying to shoot for 300-ish, like to win a big loss,
Yeah.
And that's what I got as a gift. So that's what I brought. And so I get down to $60. Now I had a few runs where I was like, oh, okay, I'm winning, and I'd win like a little bit.
I'm winning.
Yay. And so I get down there, and I'm like, okay, all I can do at this point is go big or go home. Like I'm going to run out of money or I'm going to make a lot of money. It's all about to happen right now. So I start max betting. Now, granted, I'm on the penny slots, but I'm on the penny slots with like 10 lines max bet. So it's more like $5 a bet. That's what it's about costing me.
Yeah.
And so I go big, and I hit it a few times. I only had $60-ish to begin with, and I hit it like 3 times, and I win like 25 free spins. And that's how you make money, is on the 25 free spins. So I'm like, hell yeah. So then when you do the 25 free spins, it just keeps spinning for you. You're just sitting there watching it, and it's just going and going and going, and I'm winning. And then when I get to about 11 spins, I win 25 more free spins.
Sweet.
So now I have like 36 free spins on top of the 20 I've already done. So it's like bam, 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 bam. And I got up to $365, and I cashed out. And I said, done. I left with 65 more than I came with, and the 300 I came with was a gift. So now I have 65 more to buy with money I got for Christmas, I guess.
I'm so proud of you.
So that was our casino trip, but this was the weird part, okay? So the anniversary of my brother passing was on Christmas Day, as we've talked about, and I was really trying this is part of the reason I went to the casino. Now, every other year, my kids are with their dad, and I try to find something to do to occupy myself. So typically I do something with Mary. Now, we will either go to my dad's, we'll go to her mom's, we've been to concerts, we've done all kinds of fun stuff. So this is who I went to the casino with. And And so she knew what the assignment was. Mary is not stupid, so she knows occupy Zeta. She won't get upset and cry all day,
Right.
or do something stupid and drink too much or something. So, we're having a great time. Whatever. Stopped at Buc-ee's. Who doesn't love Buc-ee's?
Love me some Buc-ee's.
Love me some Buc-ee's.
What do you buy at Buc-ee's?
Honestly, the most consistent thing I buy is random home shit. Not even like the snacks. I'm the queen of like, ooh, do they have a cutting board?
I love the snacks. I always get their like spicy crackers. Spicy crackers.
those
I
are
always
good.
get those. And I like to get the beaver nuggets. I'm a fan.
The beaver
I
nuggets
like
are
their
good.
trail mixes. They have-
Mary bought a little bit of everything yesterday. She's the queen of snacks. So she bought the trail mix of some kind. It was pretty damn good. She bought, Tony bought puff, like, okay, if you're not from Texas and you're listening, Buc-ee's, Google it, okay?
Yeah.
There's nothing
and
better.
then schedule a trip.
It's the coolest gas station you've ever been to. And so, I mean, it's stupid. It's massive. You could buy, you mean wedding gifts I bought from Buc-ee's? It's my go-to wedding place. I'm not kidding. Like the last 10 weddings, I got the gift at Buc-ee's. And I'm in cool stuff. And so they have everything that you need. And so he got jalapeno puffs, like, you know, the cheese puffs, but they were jalapeno flavored. And holy crap, it was so good. And I'm full and I am just eating them like crazy. And we all got sandwiches. I think my sandwich was the best. And our cashier was really funny because we didn't all ring up at the same time, but we stood and waited for each other after we got rung up. And we just happened to be rung up by the same person, but we did not plan that or anything, right? And so he doesn't realize as he's talking to us that we're together. And every one of us got a sandwich. And every one of us got a different sandwich. And every one of us got the same feel. This is my favorite sandwich. Oh my God, this sandwich is to die for. You're going to die for this sandwich. So we get into the car and I'm like, I am about to die for this sandwich. And they were like, I am definitely dying for this sandwich too. We're all dying today
All
for
of
these
us are
sandwiches.
dead. We're
Turns
dead.
out I'm the only one that should have died. I had the best sandwich, the Italian. It was pretty good.
I'll have to try that out.
It was, 2 thumbs up. We snacked all the way to the casino. We got to the casino for our Christmas dinner. We had Taco Casa, which if you're not from Texas, you may not be familiar, but it's kind of like a better Taco Bell.
Yes, definitely.
Best
better.
description I can give. They lots of cheese. There's lots of cheese going on.
They love their cheese there.
Yeah. And so we had Taco Casa for lunch, which cost me all of $4. So that was great.
So proud.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I was getting to. So we walk in. When my brother is dying in the hospital, and we know it's time, and we're turning the machines off, and they were like, "Do you want to play some music?" Sometimes the family want to play music, you know.
Yeah.
And so we were like, "Yeah, okay." You know, we're like in shock. So we're like, "Okay," and they're like, "Does he have a preference?" And so I think it was my niece is like Merle Haggard, which is, for those that don't listen, country is an old school country. Outlaw country from the 70s. And so she says Merle Haggard. So the nurse puts it on Pandora on the Merle Haggard channel, but we don't have very good reception. So it's just playing the same 3 songs.
It's on offline mode.
Yes.
So you only get a couple of
You
songs.
only get the songs that it had already downloaded.
Yeah.
So it's just the same 3 songs over and over again. One of which, now mind you, this is on Christmas Day last year. One of which is the song where he sings, "If I make it through December."
Oh my.
I'm on repeat, y'all. Like that's the main chorus of the song. Plus it's every 3 songs.
Talk about ironic.
So, and everyone's just silent, and we're like just standing around staring at him in the bed about to die. We're all crying, but no one's talking.
Yeah.
And everyone's just kind of quiet. And then after like the 3rd or 4th round of this song in 20 minutes, like it's been no time at all, I'm like, can we turn this song off, please?
I've had enough.
And we all started laughing because I was like, I cuss like a sailor. I'm like, this is the worst effing song for this occasion ever. And so we laugh about it and turn the song off. So we walk in the casino yesterday, and it's kind of an obscure song. I mean, I'm not going to say people didn't listen to it in the late 60s, early 70s when it came out. Maybe like 71, 72 it came out. But like, I don't ever turn on the radio and it's on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I walk in the casino and I've stepped foot in it and that song is playing.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I don't know if I've heard the song since he died.
You know that was your brother.
Totally my brother. Totally. Because what? And I have such a bad memory that I don't remember songs typically that I hear at the moment. I used to connect songs to moments, but I don't anymore because my memory's gotten so bad. But I do that song.
Yeah.
Like that's
pretty,
obviously.
that's pretty, obvious song right there.
Yes.
And to be stuck with that memory of yours and for you to walk into the casino on Christmas Day and that's the first thing you hear. I know that had to be your brother.
I was
That
like, this
him.
is my brother. I immediately stopped what I was doing and called Rick and made him listen to it over the phone. I tried to record it and I put it on Facebook on not Mary's page, on my sister-in-law's page. And I was like, listen to it. But then I listened to it and you can't tell the song because of all the
All the noise.
All that kind of stuff.
Well, that was him telling you Merry Christmas.
Definitely was. So then I'm like looking at the machines and I'm like, okay, I got to pick a machine that I could win off of. What reflects Zoll? Let's just go. We're going to make Zoll our like lucky charm. Like what would Zoll pick? And I'm not trying to be morbid. You got to find humor in things. But my brother, basically, a big part of the reason he died was that he was run over by a stampede of cattle. Yeah. He was a cowboy. He was opening a gate to a trailer. Something happened, and they got a little excited, and they basically jumped on him and ran him over. And complications later killed him. Not immediate. So I decide I need to pick a machine, and so I'm like, all right, let's find a machine. So I look up, like first machine that I'm like, let's find one. Pay attention. Stampede. That's the name of the damn machine.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And other people would see that as being really dark, but he didn't die immediately. He lived for like a month and a half afterwards and went through some complications, and that's what killed him. And we thought he was going to be better. He did get better for a while, and so we had an ongoing joke that he was sick from other things and that he was trying to kill himself in a stampede because it made a better story. So that's what we would tell him. You just wanted a better story. You're just coming up with a better story. You don't want to die from something else. And so when he did die, we were like, oh, you got to like show up Jesus on his birthday and die by a stampede. Like it was just like an ongoing joke because that's my brother's personality. So I look up and I see Stampede and I'm like, well, I'm freaking playing Stampede. I did not win on Stampede.
Oh, man.
That was not the winner.
It wasn't the winner.
It was not the winner. Then I was like, what else is like Zoll? And so I'm like looking around, and we're in like the Asian area where it's like China, Beijing. They have, this particular casino has different rooms that are different countries. You know, we went to WinStar. And so I finally turned to Mary. I was like, I'm never going to find a machine in this room that's going to remind me of Zoll. There's nothing. Unless there's Kung Fu somewhere. He did make me watch a lot of Kung Fu. So I did end up being the only one that went home with the money they left.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I'm a little disappointed that we're not millionaires, but
I'm a little disappointed in it too. I thought for sure I was going to win like a truck or car or, a cow. That would have been suiting. Baby cow. Instantly, Mary's brother won a folding table, is what they said. Like they have these little cards you can put in it. You get points for as much as you play, I guess.
Oh, really?
And so it's not based on you winning. It's just how much you play at tracks, I guess. And so if you do so much, it spits out a redeem where you can redeem it for like a mug or a shirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
And immediately, like the first machine he put it in, because he comes up there quite a bit, the first machine was like, you've won a folding table. And Mary's like, what kind of table? I was like, I don't know. Is he carrying around a big ass like garage sale table? What kind of table is this, So it was time to collect the table, and it was like kind of like those folding chairs that you and I take to the river that fold in a bag, but it was a table, a Dallas Cowboy table, and the zipper was broken.
Oh, man.
It's like lugging
of course there's going to be something wrong with it. It's Dallas Cowboys.
I mean, no offense, all you Cowboys listeners. Anyway, so that was my Christmas day, and then I came home, and that was it, man.
I was ready to hang out with you. I was like, what are you doing tomorrow?
Yes.
I let you have Christmas.
Yeah, you got that to yourself, but now it's over.
And I was like, when do you have to go back to work? You're like, Tuesday. I was like, bet. What do you want to do tomorrow?
We're going to record. And shop. We went shopping.
Yes, we did go shopping. Found some good stuff.
We did find good stuff. So that was kind of there. So now we're gearing up for New Year's and for plans for New Year's. We've talked a little bit about this already, so we don't need to go into this too much. Mine is trying to have a better idea where my money goes. I'm not saying I'm going to make less of it go there, but I just want to know where it is.
I need to figure it out. I just want to know where it's
curious
going.
where it goes.
It can keep going there. That's fine. I just want to know where it's going.
And so my new planner, I ordered a budget planner, and it's got like a pie chart in it. Did I tell you this already?
Yes.
Okay, it's got a pie chart where you have to highlight it in the month, like what percentage of your income went to certain things. So it might be like car payment, rent. My guess is it's going to be clothes, and going out is going to be the ding, 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 ding. It's gonna be a little scary. So well, I'll let y'all know how that goes. I ordered my daughter one as well because she needs one more than I do. So we'll see. I have goals set for myself. I'm not gonna go into this whole New Year's thing. I do have to be more physically fit during the new year. That's not so much a New Year's resolution as I am old and it hurts to walk sometimes, and that sucks. And things start breaking you didn't know could break.
Yeah.
The other day we were talking about it because we're all about the same age. And I'm like, there's one person older than me. Everybody else is, no, there's two. One's just barely. And the rest are younger than me. And the older person is like, oh my God, this just happened. And it's like, you're just falling apart. There's no reason. There was no trauma. It
There's
just went.
no excuse for this other than age.
Yeah. And so our younger coworker comes in and is listening to us talk about the problems that we had. He was like, man, I had never been any wrecks or anything. I'm hoping at y'all's age I don't have. I was like this is because of wrecks. We're just dying. This is what happens.
Your body starts deteriorating.
I said, when they say you're over the hill, you do realize that means we are now screening down as fast as we can down the other side of the hill towards death. And this is just the bumps. We're like, we scream when we hit a rock. That's what's going on. We just hit a rock. It's water on the knee. That's what the problem this rock is. He was like, well, that's great. And then he proceeds to tell me how old his mom is. And she's 6 years younger than me. And he's a grown-ass man. He's grown. He has children. He's grown. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I feel old.
You're kicked out of the conversation.
So that was my Christmas. And going to my new year, I think we're going to go hunting and we're going to spend it in a camper freezing our ass off.
No, that sounds horrible.
It's not that bad. It's it's kind of cool though because we're taking the kids and we'll do a fire and roast shit and I'll drink some whiskey and
that sounds good.
It'll be on my brother's property, so I'll probably cry. It's great. I mean, I don't know why you don't want to be part of this.
You're really painting a picture.
I know.
I kind of want to go.
Happy New Year.
Pack me in your bag.
Yeah. Bless my heart.
Last New Year's, I didn't do anything. I was low key. And so this New Year's, I kind of want to do something. And Marilee usually has a bonfire. They do a bonfire out at their land.
Yeah.
That's
she actually sent me an invite. I've been invited in the past by you, being like, hey, you should join us. But I got an actual invite.
Wow, Mira, wow.
But I let her know. And to Rick as well. And I told her that would be a bad thing. He's not friendly.
Yeah, he would be fine. There's plenty of land. He could just go out in their land and
stare at a
he
tree.
He could just take some guns out there and just shoot.
We'll just look over in the corner and he'll be staring at a tree. Bless his heart.
But I think I might do that if they end up doing it. I don't know if there's a burn ban right now or anything. Hopefully
I don't think so. We've had a lot of moisture.
That's good. So I might do that. That might be what I do for New Year's because I do feel like bonfires are the way to go for me. Anyways, I love me a good bonfire. I'm a little bit of a pyro, so I love to sit and stare at a fire of any type. It could be a candle or a fire in a fireplace, or I could build a fire in a little chimichanga outside.
Yep.
And so I just love watching it. So
I love a good chimichanga.
Chimichanga fire.
For those that haven't heard us discuss this, which I know we've discussed it on the podcast before. But I have a chimichanga that other people refer to as a chimenea. Mine is a chimichanga.
They're actually called chimichangas, though, if you didn't know.
I can't remember chimenea, but I remember chimichanga.
You're always like that chimichanga.
What's funny is I don't even have to tell people anymore. They're like, no, Zayda,
we now refer to it as that.
Chimichanga.
I call mine that I have at the house that as well. Yes.
Why wouldn't you?
I'm like, I want to make a fire in the chimichanga. And Dante just goes along with it. He's like, all right.
Yeah, let's go.
He goes out and sprays the grass.
Yeah. The house.
Please don't set the house on fire. Yeah. Gonna give everything a little wet down real quick.
Nothing wrong with
the
a little
cars.
wet down. He's out there with the water hose. Oh Lord. So I saw something on the kind of go back to Christmas on this. I saw something on that once again on that page about Emma the asshole, and somebody put on there that they felt like their sister was the asshole because her and her sister had agreed to getting her brother's stepkids a $25 minimum gift for the stepkids for Christmas. And the sister shows up with iPads for for the 2 stepkids. So the sister that has the $25 gift limit is pissed at her sister for spending more than the $25. So she wanted to know if she was an asshole for being mad. And if you can imagine what the comments were,
Did they say yes?
yes. Everybody was like, so you're mad that these kids got more because you didn't think they deserved more.
Yep.
Curious, did you get the non-step kids $25 gift limits?
Yeah, what was
Because
their-
that's the
what
first
was
thing that
their
went to my
limit?
head.
Yeah.
Yes, you were definitely the asshole, and I don't even know.
I don't even know anything else, but
Yeah, but you're definitely the asshole.
I definitely would not want to limit what a kid could get just because of what you're willing to spend on them.
Yeah, because
Like,
they're step.
yeah,
like that
spend-
might be their only Christmas.
Yeah, spend whatever you want to spend on them, but don't hold other people to those standards
Exactly.
unless it's like a white elephant thing. Like I can understand that
Yes.
aspect.
And
of it.
everybody has the same
Everybody's
limit.
supposed to. But when it comes to somebody wanting to gift something to someone, why
Yes.
would you want them to receive less?
Right, isn't that weird? And they were mad. And they made sure they said step. And so then that leads me to believe regular kids didn't have the same limit. And, and when I was growing up, that was all the gifts I got. So if my step family had been like, you're not getting as much as our biological grandkids, I was screwed, man. I wasn't getting them from someone else. You know what I mean? And so I just thought, oh, God, that is so wrong. And, it rubbed me the wrong way. But the other thing that came up was that we were at Rick's grandma's house, and it's his abuela. This is on his Hispanic side, whom I love this side of the family, and particularly his grandma. And so if someone in the family is running behind, so the person running behind apparently has a new little girlfriend that I was unaware of. I don't go to a lot of the family events, and we've been dating for those catching up. Because there are new listeners sometimes.
Welcome.
Welcome. We've been dating 10 years and we have not lived together until very recently. But it's when you're dating, it's different spending holidays together because I feel like if you have children, the children are the priority. You need to be around their grandparents and their family and they need to be exposed to that.
Yeah.
So it's never been a big deal over the years that Rick and I have separate holidays, and neither of us have cared or been bothered by it. And if it works out, you can join ours too. Great. Yeah. But if you can't, fine too, So that's the way it's always been. Well, he has always gone to his family things because he's had no reason he couldn't, wouldn't attend. He always has his daughter every holiday. I don't always have my kids. So every other holiday, I either don't have them for Thanksgiving or I don't have them for Christmas. And then that's when I usually hang out with Mary for that holiday. And I will hang out with Mary, but I'll also hang out with him. So like Christmas, if it's Christmas, I will go to his grandma's house on Christmas Eve, but I'll spend Christmas Day with Mary. Or if it's Thanksgiving, they do that on Thanksgiving Day. I'll go and pop into his grandparents and then I'll leave and go meet Mary. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what we've been doing for years. So this family member says, well, I don't know if he's coming because he's got that new girlfriend. And, we don't, maybe they're going to be at her family, I guess. And so then the conversation in the room starts and everybody's like talking about it. And they're like, well, but yeah, he might not because of the girlfriend, and kind of joking about it because he's not really one to have a girlfriend. And so they're going back and forth and grandma's getting upset and she's like, well, I don't know. It's just a girlfriend. Like, this is not a wife. This is not someone he has a child with. Like, there's no reason he wouldn't be here.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be here?
Right. So I didn't know if everybody was like pressing so hard against that to her because I was in the room.
And you are also a girlfriend?
I'm just a girlfriend, and I part of me got the impression that they were trying to get her to catch on. She was saying it in front of me, but it did not offend me because she's absolutely right. I'm just a girlfriend. She's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I don't want to pretend more than that because with that comes additional responsibilities.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? And if I was trying to have those responsibilities, I would be more than a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I
don't want wife duties when I'm not a wife.
I'm certainly not going to take wife duties without being a wife too.
No.
You know what I mean? So, and so I'm just like, so everybody, they're going back and forth and it's getting funny because you can tell she's clueless that they're kind of trying to protect me in a way.
Yeah.
she's standing by her guns. She's absolutely right, though, you know? And so finally, after like 5 minutes of them going back and forth, and I've just not said a word, I'm like, I personally agree with her completely. That's just his girlfriend. She needs to be with her family unless she can't be with her family. And then it's very nice of him to invite her, but he needs to be with his family unless they're married or they have children. There's no other reason.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel obligated to be at your girlfriend's family over your family.
Exactly, because girlfriends come and go. I'm not trying to be mean.
They certainly do.
But they do. You know what I mean?
I come and go all the time.
I could easily still come and go. That's just it.
Very
That's,
easily.
you know, and there's pros and cons to that. You don't get to enjoy all the pros to it.
That's so true.
And not accept
That's
the cons.
True. I don't have his insurance. I wish I did.
That's a very good example. You know
all
what
I
mean?
have is a credit card, and that's good enough for me for girlfriend responsibilities, okay?
I laughed so hard, and I thought about you yesterday when we were at the casino because Mary ran out of money, and I'm sitting in the middle, and Tony is to the left of me, and Tony is like my brother to me. Like I've known Tony since he was a little kid. He's just like a best friend. I just love him. Mary's on the other side of me. Mary runs out of money. This is when Tony was doing good, and Mary just puts out her hand like you do, and she goes, money, just like you do, but to her brother. She goes,
I did that to my brother
and
too.
he was like, no questions asked, pulled out his bill and gave it to her.
That's a good brother right there. Good job.
I just laughed.
That's
I
what
was
I'm
like,
talking about.
some Kelly shit going on right here. Money.
I learned from a very young age to
And
just
she's the older
smile
sister.
and put out my hand. Money, please.
I laughed so hard at it.
I'm so proud, Mary. I'm so proud.
I was like,
I knew you were my bitch.
Yeah, it was really funny. Anyway, so I started. So I heard that little conversation about the step kids, and then about the girlfriend comment at Thanksgiving or Christmas. Sorry, and I started thinking about it, and I'm like, it's so funny how these little terms like this can cause such a hiccup.
Yep.
But it's necessary.
Yeah.
Like, because it is a line drawn by both people. So you are currently my girlfriend or you're my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. That's where you are. Yeah. This is what you are. You're not more than that. You're not less than that though either. See, everyone likes to look at it as the negative. I'm not more than that. This is all I am. But you're not less than that either.
Exactly. That's a wonderful position.
Yeah, you're the girlfriend. Yeah. So you don't have to be with me. You want to be with me.
Yes.
There is no paper making you be here. Mm-hmm. I can act as crazy as possible, and you can leave or you cannot leave.
And that's what I like too, because it reinforces the choice to me. Because to me, love or a relationship isn't that you need to be with somebody. It's because you choose to be with them. You want to be with them, and you're choosing to be with them every single day.
Yeah.
And I understand people say that that's what marriage is. It's a choice, and but a lot of times for me, it goes into that
once you make the choice, it's not just a choice. Once you've made the choice, it's supposed to be till death do you part. Now, is that always treated that way?
Yeah.
No.
I've yet to figure out the situation where that was true, though.
Well, I think that it is just, it does mean you take it more serious as far as you can't be like, you know what? I don't like how they get up every Christmas morning and go for a run. This is not the life I want to lead. But if you're just dating, you can do that. You can be like, not for me.
I just don't like the aspect of getting the courts all involved and all the paperwork that goes on all the legal aspects of it. And especially when I'm not having any kids and I'm not going to be owning any property with anybody or anything like that. I don't need that legal aspect of marriage.
Right.
To make me feel committed to somebody.
Which I don't have a problem with it. Like, I think it's I think marriage is a beautiful thing.
Oh, yes. I'm not bashing marriage.
I just think that it doesn't always get taken as serious as it should. And I think that that's exactly what his grandma was doing, was she was taking it serious.
Yes.
And they were saying it's the same thing. And it's just not the same
just
thing.
Not the same thing. No.
And like Rick will say that to me all the time. We're basically married. I mean, we're married. Our commitment level is married. And I'm like, that's not going to hold up in court. Like, if you die, I'm not going to get a portion of your income
because we're basically married.
I'm not getting Social Security because my boyfriend died and he helped me pay bills for whatever you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I have a friend that's boyfriend. She referred to him as her husband for years, but they never got married, and he died, and she was eligible for nothing.
Yeah.
So they built this life together, and then it was gone. It was just gone. And his family took it all.
Oh my gosh.
And so she would have had to prove that they were, common law married, whatever, which you can do, but it requires money for a lawyer, and it requires a lot of mental stamina. And if you've already lost your significant other and their loved ones that you loved and treated as family now treat you like...
Yeah, so then you're isolated.
And
having nobody to help you.
And so that is where it runs into a difference, because it is different. You've not protected the one you love. I feel like if you really are like, hey, I got your back for the rest of your life. I got your back. I'm your partner. I'm going to do this, whatever. Then that does require a legal agreement of some kind. It doesn't even have to be a marriage. It can be a paper that says, I'm taking care of this person, whatever. But you're not going to be eligible for their Social Security. You're not going to be, you know what I mean? Even if they write down, this is my significant other, if there's no paper, you're not eligible. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I get that aspect of it, because I think that women get screwed over a lot in that way. The other thing that they run into is I had a girl years ago that worked for me, and she was a Hurricane Katrina evacuee. And I love this girl. She was a great little employee I had. Unfortunately, the way that all the government assistance was set up is getting married hurt her. She would no longer qualify for a lot of assistance she was getting. She still needed that assistance. She wasn't getting any child support for her father's children. He disappeared with Katrina. Like, she heard from him like one time after Katrina, and he disappeared. And she never did find him again. Like, that's it's a different world out there. So she wasn't getting any kind of government assistance. They had 4 children together, and she was on her own. And so, she did meet somebody else, and they lived together they've lived together probably 10 years now or longer. And they have a child together, but they never married because she would lose so many government assistance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is crazy that that's the way it is.
I'll tell you, man.
Whereas I'm eligible for nothing and never have been.
Me neither.
But I'm also not trying to run down the aisle, whatever.
Me neither. Is. That's how I am. Like, I know that I'm not going to get anything if I stay with somebody for ever and then they end up dying, but I'm not looking to try and get anything.
Exactly.
Because I don't need it.
But you don't need it. Yeah, you don't have children.
But that goes back to the choice. I mean, that's my choice, and I'm choosing to be with that person. I don't need to be with that person. I don't need anything from them. I don't need a Social Security check from you. Yeah. I just want to be with you.
Yeah. And I see that. But when you have children together, it's a little different.
That complicates it. That's why I never had children.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. So, yeah, because it messes it all up.
It does. It messes it all up. Well, I mean, in my opinion, for me, I'm not saying that children.
Hopefully nobody has to go through that. You know what I mean? One of the things that we had talked about today, Kelly and I were kind of shooting the shit before we got up here to record, and we were talking about inner dialogue or inner monologue. We're not real sure which
dialogue,
one it is.
Monologue, inner conversation.
Yes.
But I do know that it's different for every person. Because sometimes it is just you thinking your thoughts to yourself. There's that aspect. There's also you talking to yourself. So it's like it's me talking to myself. Some people even answer themselves. Some people debate with themselves.
I read that, I kind of looked it up before we started the conversation. And one of the things I read is that a lot of times it has to do with the past and the future. And a lot of times it's more than a dialogue. It is a conversation you in your head should have said, what you should have said, or what you're going to try to say. Mm-hmm. And it's you kind of like preparing yourself mentally for what could happen. But a lot of times it's the most obscure things in conversations that will never happen.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like a lot of times anxiety is tied to it. Mm-hmm. So you have conversations about what would happen if this happened, but it's your anxiety telling you this might happen. So you start preparing yourself, mentally, whatever the case is. So the reason Kelly and I started this conversation earlier is because a few months ago, maybe 2 or 3, right around the time Rick moved in, I'm telling Rick something and I'm worked up about something. There's someone that, he is close to that does not care for me. And so we're having a conversation about this person and about the situation. And I'm like, your mind leads you down a corridor and where you are like, but if this happened because they said this or they did this, then this would have happened. But none of that ever happened. Like, I'm literally just, my head is just in its own little world. You know what I mean? So that's what I was doing. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're literally just making shit up.
You're just pulling shit out.
Like you're just got your own little narrative. That's the word he used. You got your own little narrative in your head, and you got this shit going on, and none of that happened. Like you're just making shit up because you're upset.
Yeah,
he was totally right. I was like, true. You're right. Like I'll acknowledge that. Okay, you're right. And then I'm thinking, does he not have inner monologue? Does he not do this? Am I that weird that? So we start talking about it at work. I'm telling them about it. And I'm like, hey, do y'all like have conversations with yourself? And they're like, yes, but see, we're all in sales. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it takes a certain type of person to be in sales. And I could see where we would all be those type of people.
Yeah.
Whereas I can see other people not be those type of people that don't have jobs like us. Because it takes a certain type of person to be doing what we're doing, And so I was like, well, maybe that's what it is. That's why I asked you. But you have inner monologue.
Yeah. And I have since I was very young. And that's
do you answer yourself? Like,
yeah.
what does yours look like?
Yeah. So, and I've been in therapy since I was very young because my parents saw this from a very young age because I dissociate. And so, and I can dissociate into different parts of thinking. And that's where my amnesia just comes in a lot too, because I can forget things that I've said or done. Yeah. And then I can remember if I really get down into really thinking about it or really, what is the word I'm thinking for? Not concentrate, but what is it?
Dive into the memory of your brain.
I guess. I don't know. What is it when meditate? I meditate on it and I can think of those things. But yes, I talk to myself. I have an inner monologue pretty much 24/7. It doesn't,
I do too. It
never
doesn't
ever stop. I'm never not talking to myself in my head. And it's not just me talking to myself. I'm talking to a different part of myself, and she answers, and we fight all the time because I'll want to do something and she won't want to do anything. And so I'll have to switch and and cut a different part of myself off to where I'm not thinking about it, and she'll take over because there's certain things that I like that she doesn't like, and people that we don't like, and we have, and I'll always be talking to myself and thinking about what's going to happen next or what could happen if this happens, and that's why a lot of times I don't really talk that much because I have so much going on in my head, and I don't have just one question. I have a million questions, and
that's how Zaylee is. My 16-year-old, 17-year-old. She has what ifs drive her insane.
Yeah.
So she drives me insane with her what ifs. So her anxiety is up there in there. And I think mine also has a little bit of anxiety in it, which is weird because I don't feel like I'm an anxious person, but I do have some anxiety that plays into it. But mine are more like, if I don't do this, this, and this, then this and this could happen.
Yeah.
And it's not realistic. It's not things that are going to happen. So then I come into play and I'm like, Zeta, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Not realistic. Mm-hmm. That's your head playing with you. And I'm like, you're right. It's okay. I can do that. It's not going to happen. So that's my monologue in my head. Sometimes it's what I should have said or what I would say if this happened.
Yeah.
So Rick getting on to me and being like, you're making that up. And it's just in your head. But then the other day, Madison said something, and it was about if she just drove through town and went straight to see someone else without stopping to see her dad. It was because my son came into town and he was coming into town. We didn't know what time for Christmas. And he was like, so he's already here maybe. And he just didn't stop and see you. He went somewhere else before he came to see his mom. And I was like, I don't know. They're spending Christmas with her parents this year. And they are, 25, 30 miles away. They're not around the corner. They're in Dallas, So I'm like, I don't know what time he's getting here. I don't know. I don't know when he's coming. I didn't ask. I just told him when I was available.
Yeah.
So he could have just come and just drove right by his mom's house because you had to pass through our town to get to where they are. I'm like, yeah, he could have done that, and that's fine. I don't, And he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes off on this tangent about how if Madison did that to him, his daughter, and she was there at the table, we're talking about this in front of her, and she was like, who am I going to pass to go? Who am I passing you up to go see? Who is this other person? He was like, I don't know, but it could happen. I was like, oh, so you do have an inner dialogue and you are thinking about worst case scenario. And all this is in your head, Rick. It's made up. And he's like, okay, yeah, all right. The difference is I admit I'm doing it. I was like, okay.
You don't always admit you're
Yeah. So then we're giving him a hard time. And then like 20 minutes later, Madison she does the same thing. And she has a whole thing. Well, what if? And then what if? I said, oh, so is this an inner monologue going on in your head? Like, I'm like, are we all doing this?
Man.
Yes.
I think that to a degree, everybody does that, or I hope so. But I was taught from a very young age. My parents taught me to think about what I was doing and think about what I was going to say. Don't just say everything that comes to your mind. Think it over first. Have a conversation with yourself or have a conversation with God.
How's this going to go?
And figure out, and I would do that. And I did that from a very young age. So it started my inner monologue very young. And so I have this person in my head who does console me. She tells me, Kelly, you're being too hard on yourself. You need to be nice. You need to be kind to yourself. She corrects me a lot of the time, but it's in a really motherly kind of way. Like she wants the best for me.
Yeah.
And then I have another person who is literally the complete opposite. And she just could care less about what actually happens to me. She
I've
just
met
wants
her.
to do her own thing.
I know her well.
And then I have another one that's kind of in the middle, but she's like super sweet and innocent. And she's just like, she just loves everybody.
It's all for the best.
And I just want to play with some toys and like just love everybody. And but she can't be trusted either because she wanders away.
Okay. Well, mine is the same person, which is just me judging myself.
Yeah. Well, I can see that.
You know, is this the best idea? No. Are you going to do it anyways? Probably.
Yeah.
Zeta, get yourself under control. Okay.
She's very judgmental.
She's a little judgmental.
But, I mean,
she might be my mom in there. Maybe that's what's going on. I do have moments where I'm like, all right, Mom, I hear you.
Yeah. I definitely have done that.
Because it's like her voice being like, girl, how many times have I told you this? Like, I got it. You're right. And I have gotten on to Rick before, and I'm like, my mom is telling me right now to tell you that I am not putting up with this.
It's time to put our foot down. That's what
this is where my mom is. What, Mom? Oh, yeah. Okay. It's on now.
Oh, no, you didn't.
He's like, put your crazy mom in the box. What are you talking about?
Tell your mom I'm not talking to her right now. I'm trying to talk to you. She can come back later.
Yes. What is wrong with her? Anyway, so I read that only 20% of people have these combos in their head.
Really?
And I'm like, why is it all people I hang out with?
I have all of these people. All 20% are my friends.
I don't know what that says about us. I never mentioned on the last podcast, which already knew it already had happened by then. I already knew we didn't have the girls' weekend. I never even discussed.
Oh, I know, that's so sad. I don't think we did discuss that, or did?
No, we didn't. We never came up. We did not have the. And I'm just going to make it a blip real quick because I had a few people ask. We didn't do the girls' weekend the weekend I was supposed to do it because there was only going to be 4 of us total, maybe 5. Where there was one person on the fence, and everybody but me and my sister-in-law got sick, and I mean sick, like COVID, flu sick, before we went. So,
I promise I did not hex girl weekend. It wasn't me.
Terry actually said.
I might have. I don't know.
Terry said. He said this yesterday. He goes, remember whenever Kelly said,
Terry, stop listening to me, Terry.
When I want something to happen, it happens. And then she said, I want the girls' weekend. You just can't have it if I can't go. And I was like, she did say that.
I'm sorry.
Terry just totally threw you under the bus.
Sometimes my powers, I don't even mean to use them, and I don't try to use them for bad. I try to use them for good.
He used your own words against you. He was like, I don't know if you remember this.
Oh gosh, thanks a lot.
I laughed so hard.
It's so true.
I was like, I know.
Didn't mean to. I really wanted y'all. Part of me really wanted y'all to have a really good time.
Part of
but
you.
the other part, I told you, she's mean.
Yeah. She's like COVID. Shelby and Erica, you know who to blame.
If I can't have fun, nobody's having fun.
If I can't have Zoda, nobody can. If I can't have the cabin, no one can.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we didn't have it, so we're gonna reschedule that so you can go.
We're
gonna work that out. January,
time.
we're gonna work that out.
Okay.
We need a winter one. I need a cold.
No,
one.
I want to be able to go out there and make a fire.
It turns out the fireplace has been cleaned recently, and we can use it safely. So I was
happy.
pretty excited.
I don't want to burn down.
We don't want to burn the house
forest.
down. No. And that's about all I ordered myself the coolest apron, and I meant to tell you this. Merry Christmas to me.
Very good. You know what I bought myself? A new black flask.
This sums us both up. You a new black flask.
What was your apron?
Me an apron that has a pocket for a flask.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's like we were in each other's head.
I didn't even know. You hadn't even told me yet. Oh my gosh.
No, it just has a pocket. But I'm going to go with it
For a flask. That's what I would use it for.
So when I'm cooking, my kids and now Rick like to come in the kitchen and talk to me, and which is lovely. It is the hub, and I do not mind that. If you want to come in the kitchen while I'm cooking and have a full conversation, then I'm on. As long as it's not A, about video games.
Okay.
And B, you don't leave and come back and leave and come back. Like, come and sit down and have a conversation so that I am invested in the conversation. But if you're going to come in and be like, hey, there's this game, and you probably never heard of it because the guy that invented it is just real discreet. In fact, he died in 1986. But he invented this game, and it wasn't that big a seller. So then his son came out with a new version of the game, and he came. This is how the conversation, this is, that's it. There's no punchline. That's it. So I'm like, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, he invented a game. I don't watch video games. I don't play video games.
Nope.
The last time I played a video game was Mario Brothers, and I'm talking on the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
When it came out. Before you were born.
Yep, probably.
Okay. So, no interest. But my son really likes telling me about everything video game, which is fine. But come and sit down and let's have this conversation, and let's not leave and come back and leave and come back. So now I've got my son doing it, and then my daughter will come in there and just stare at me.
Yeah, she does.
You've seen her.
Yep.
What do you need?
With
something?
Her judgmental eyes.
Yes. Or is it always done? Like, or nothing. Or I don't even know. But she just comes to stare at me. He's got video game information. She comes to stare. Then Rick comes in and gets in my way. It never fails. He is in my way. And he is just in my way. And I'm like, dude, can you move? Can you move? Can you move? Or he's like just telling me random things. Meanwhile, I like to listen to music when I cook.
Yeah. So then you can't even hear the music that's playing because of the people that are talking.
No. And so I'll be or I like to listen to podcasts. So I'm like listening to a podcast or I'm listening to music. And so I'm stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting. This is how it's gone. So I order myself an apron. I have a lady that is going to make me this, and it's actually a listener. I saw she did this, so really? I reached out to the listener. And the front of the apron says, stop and ask yourself, is this worth mom turning Tyler Childers off? And it's got a picture of Tyler Childers. Because it's usually Tyler Childers. Because the other day I'm like, stop. Do you not hear? I'm trying to listen to the song. I've stopped it 8 times. Let me finish the song. I'm trying to sing. Don't you see there's a concert in this kitchen?
Yeah, I'm trying to have a mini concert while I'm making food here.
Yes.
I would not interrupt your concert. I just watch your concert or I join your concert.
You would join the concert, no doubt.
I usually do.
So I'll let you know when the apron's there.
Oh my gosh.
I kind of want to do, I've been following this podcast page. And one of the things that you can offer as a podcast is merch.
Yeah.
And I really have thought about it because I found a place where you can set up your merch, like you can put your design, and then they can order it from them. Like you don't have it made. Like it's your design and you get a portion of it, and they're coming for you. Like they put in your information.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe we need to do that because we need a Bless Your Heart shirt.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lady in the Streets shirt. Mm-hmm. So if any listeners have any idea of something that you would buy, like you would buy this, it would be funny to you. Tell me what it is.
And we'll make you some merch.
Yeah. Because I just thought it was really funny. And I just really want a Bless Your Heart shirt. So, a ball cap because, I wear a lot of ball caps.
Yeah.
So I just thought it'd be really funny. So New Year, that was what I was going to say was my New Year's resolution was to do something more with the podcast that made me happy. It's not necessarily a goal as far as listenership or even growing the podcast as much as just making it more of what I love.
Yeah.
And what you love. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because our goal isn't so much to be successful like, oh my God, everybody knows who we are. It is more about doing something
Yeah.
we love.
Yeah, and I really want to have like content that people like to listen to and that reach, because that's one of my favorite compliments that we get from people that are like, oh, I love the free conversation. I love just the open, free,
Like you feel
fun
like you're sitting
conversation.
in the cabin in the room, and that's what we want it to sound like.
Exactly. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah. I mean, the only other name that would have fit this besides our name and Two Bitches and the Half Truth, the only other name that would have worked would have been Cabin Talk.
Cabin Talk.
Because it is truly where the holes, but usually by the end of it, it's a different conversation because at that point we're usually intoxicated.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of I love yous and some crying.
We try to keep the podcast with no alcohol.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a drink, but that's just to clear our palates.
Yeah, we don't want to wear I love you.
I love you so much, Jada.
It does happen.
You're always here for me. I just need to tell you this, okay? No, stop.
Stop.
I need you to listen. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me?
This conversation has
I
happened
love you.
so many times.
Nobody's going to take us away from each other.
That's a real cabin
And
talk.
when I get married,
You're gonna
you're
be
going to be
there.
the flower girl.
Meanwhile, nobody's married out of the group. Who's married? Melindy. That's it.
Yeah,
How do we have that many girlfriends and no one's married?
Because we have a lot of smart women.
At this age.
Okay, we're smart.
That's so funny. Bless Melindy, you're holding it strong. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the podcast or not before. I might have. My mom had a wall in her house, the marriage wall. Have I talked about the marriage wall before and the pictures?
I don't know.
Okay, so my mom had this wall, and it was wedding pictures of her kids and her stepson. So it was my stepbrother, Joe Pete, and his wife, Dana. They got married around the same time I did, about 1996-ish, 97. I think they got married in 97. And it's their wedding picture. And then it's my little sister and her husband's wedding picture, and they've been married about just as long, probably. And then it was my brother and his first wife's wedding picture, and then it was me and my ex-husband's wedding picture. Well, I got divorced first.
Yeah.
My picture was removed
You guys like
and replaced with this picture of me from when my mom and I went on a cruise together, and they got a picture of me in a formal dress, so she put that picture up there.
wow.
So it was like all these wedding pictures and then me, a face, like a selfie almost. It was like bad. And so every time we'd go over there, did one of the three siblings still married be like, holding the wall up. Zeta's leg is a little low over there, but we got this. We're supporting the wedding wall. Well, then my brother got divorced.
Oh no.
And so my sister and my stepbrother's wife were like, well, we got to do all the work around here. So then my brother remarries. So it went from a picture of him and his first wife to him and a picture of just him to suddenly a picture of him and the second wife.
Wow.
I'm still alone.
It's
I'm
a
still
good
on the
thing that
bottom.
they actually took the old ones down and didn't just like
Move them to the side.
the evolution of your marriage life.
That would be funnier. So then I'm like, I go and my brother's got a new one there, and I'm like, damn it. Okay, I'm still not married.
Still not on the wall.
No, it's not even on the cusp of happening. So I'm like, all right. So then my mom passes away, and that's the wedding wall when she passes away. Well, then my stepdad proceeds to continue the wedding wall.
That's good.
And he did move it to a different room because he got a girlfriend who probably didn't want our pictures of her. So he moved it to a bedroom, and now the wedding wall's in a bedroom. And I thought the wedding wall went away.
Oh, really?
So in fact, I think this is when I discovered it, when I took y'all out to his house. We went in the house, and I was like, where's the wedding wall? And it had moved to the bedroom. But now my brother is on his third wife. So, he's passed now. So I guess he's clinched it for lifetime.
Yeah.
He died married. So it was, again, the three of them and then me all by myself again. And I'm still the unmarried one in the far right-hand bottom corner.
They put you in the corner.
They did. They put me in the corner. They put baby in the corner. Yeah. So if I ever get married, it's probably only to get myself off the bottom right-hand corner because that's so sad. But yeah, my mom made a wedding wall. So FYI, if your kids start getting married, don't make a wedding wall because guess what? They also get divorced.
It could get a little messy, okay?
It was really funny though. When my mom was alive, she took pleasure in the fact that she did that. Like it was funny to her. So
I bet it was.
She was like, I don't know, Zeta, no pressure or anything, but it looks like you really need to work on your little corner over here. I mean, you have any perspectives? What's the plan here?
Says the woman that was married 6 times.
Nine times.
Oh, wait, 9 times. See, I can't even remember.
Well, she only counted the ones she had children with.
Oh, my gosh.
And the last one, because, they were
Could
still
you imagine if she had an evolution of her wedding wall?
I would pay money to see it, because we don't know who all of them are.
Oh, my God. It would be like a history lesson.
She was so funny. She says, one time we're driving down the road in San Saba, and I can picture exactly the corner we're on. She's like, oh, yeah, I went on this date with this guy one time, and he died in a plane crash. Right over there. It was right over there, the plane crash. And I was like, what, you mean you were dating him when he died? No, later. He died later. I mean, I was married to him. We didn't just date. I did marry him, but we were not married very long, so it doesn't count. I was like,
oh, it doesn't.
There's a lot to take in between exits.
That was a lot of information.
I don't even know where to go with this, but yeah, okay, well, that's good. Yeah, okay. She was like, yeah, he owned a gas station. They were very successful people. Okay, all right. Well, this is good knowledge. What, before or after Dad? Oh, before. This is one of the ones in Mexico. Oh, okay. She was run off to Mexico to get married before she was of age.
Wow.
Yeah, it was easier to annul there as well, though, by the way. So
well, good to know. I'll write that down.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know. She really held up the marriage wall. She was really...
Yeah, she was like the freaking cornerstone of the marriage wall.
I feel like if your parents did a marriage wall, you would be down there on the bottom right with me.
Oh my gosh. I would have had a brief shining moment and then down in the corner.
I feel like what's funny is I was like married the longest I was the strong marriage of the group, we thought. So that goes to show you something.
Yeah.
But what would be really funny, and I may do this, is if I did a marriage wall in my house of my friends, and then as you become more closer to marriage, you move. You and your boyfriend get in a fight, you're back down.
There's gonna
you
be
moving together, you're up.
They're levels. It could be like a pyramid.
Yes, yeah. Most of them are going to be at the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to stay at the bottom.
Nah, you're higher than most of them. You're living with someone.
That is true. I'm at least, okay, so you have a boyfriend, you go up one. It gets serious, you go up another. You move in with them, you move up another tier, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it really starts with if you have an F buddy.
Okay,
that you see more than once every 2 weeks.
A steady F buddy.
You're tier one. Tier one.
But I think not even everybody has that though. So
then
there's a tier 0.
Sad day.
But I think they would at least lie and say that they did.
Okay, if you have one that you can make up.
You have a make believe F buddy.
Yeah,
we'll accept that.
Yeah, that'll work.
You have a really good vibrator,
but you're gonna need to be convincing. It's got to be named.
You got to work up some scenarios.
Horatio.
Horatio.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh,
that was the first name that came to mind.
Okay, well,
I was like, I mean,
remember, you have to watch yourself when you're naming things because you never know what somebody's named their member.
I came up with the name Horatio just now. I'm not even kidding. The first thing that popped in my head was, what was that? The murder mystery show in Miami. That's really big. It's been on for like 20-something years. But many years ago, they had the redheaded actor that was on it, and his character name was Horatio, but he was a white redheaded guy. And I'm like, he's not Horatio. We know his name's not Horatio. That's Billy. That is not Horatio. That's Billy Bob. And so now that's where Horatio, then he'd be red.
That's funny.
Because, he was a redheaded Horatio. Because that does not exist. There's not one redheaded Horatio on this earth.
Well, there is in CSI Miami.
There is. Yeah, that's it. Anyways, I think that's it. What do we got?
Oh, man. I do have one funny thing. This is a big thing, actually. You know what? Something I got for Christmas from my parents?
What?
A new brother. Like a new brother. You know, I had a new brother, Braden.
Yeah, but you got a new
Braden, who got my old phone number. God bless you, Braden. No, I have a new one, or it's going to be, because
surprise,
course, my family is really big into fostering and helping out and everything like that. So they got this call. My aunt, she used to work for CPS. She was a prosecutor. Now she's a prosecutor, and she got word of this kid who was going to be, he'd been in foster care since he was 2, and he wasn't going to be able to be placed anywhere. So he was they had him staying in a hotel for Christmas, like
by
the
himself?
Christmas time, by himself.
How old is he?
And so my mom, of course, hears, and she's like, I'm not going to let this happen. No, that baby is not staying in the hotel. Well, it's not a baby. He is a 17-year-old very big African American boy.
Bless his heart.
And my sister, I didn't even know this. Okay, so he's been there as soon as she heard, like, she's like, he can come stay here because they're certified through foster care. They can have. All of my brothers are adopted officially, except for this new one. He's actually just being fostered because they can take in foster kids anytime.
Yeah.
And so they were gonna have him for the holidays, so he wasn't just by himself. But she fell in love with him. Of course, my mom.
Yeah.
So my sister calls me literally the night before we're going down there for Christmas Eve. So it's the night before Christmas Eve. And she's like, I know that you're not on family chat. So did you know that mom's has another brother? And so she explains this to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they working on a football team? Like, what? I told her she could not adopt another kid unless it was a girl. I have too many brothers. She sends me a picture.
I don't feel like you can bring a girl into this point.
She sends me a picture, and he's this huge African American boy. Like, and I have a picture of my mom, who is this like, she's not short, but he makes her look short, blonde lady. And then he is this big African American boy, and my sister sends me the picture, and I immediately text her, who let mom watch The Blind Side?
I wasn't going to say it, but I was thinking it.
And she texts back, I said the exact same thing. Like, Mom, seriously?
What's his name?
His name's Joseph.
So was he just in awe of Christmas at this new family?
Yeah, because
that has got to be crazy.
Oh yeah, it is. You could tell he was happy. He definitely, I think, obviously he was overwhelmed, but he had a room that he could go to. So like he would go to his room for a while and just play with his stuff because, we got him some stuff. But he came out and he met, me when I walked in, and I was really happy that Dante went too, because he's African American.
Yeah.
So it was like, and it's so funny because my sister, she's adopted, her little girl is half and half. She's half white, half black. And so when she saw the picture of Joseph, she was like, he's brown like me. It was so cute.
That's good too. So he understands that he is
he's very welcome and accepted. And of course, I didn't have time to buy him a gift because I just figured out that we had him.
Yeah,
and
surprise.
So Dante, just gave him some cash because that's what teenagers want anyways.
Yeah.
He gave him cash, and so he's like, "Oh, thank you so much!" Like very accepting and thankful, and just I could tell that he was super excited to be.
Yeah.
He's already calling my mom. He calls her mom.
Oh.
And because as soon as she let him know, if this is something that you feel comfortable with, if this is somewhere you feel safe, you do not have to go anywhere. You can stay right here. Yeah. And so he was like, really? Yeah. She's like, yeah, this can be your home if this is what you want. Yeah. And she said he immediately started calling her mom.
Oh, I love him. I'm going to cry. Oh, what a good boy.
I know. So that was a very happy Christmas present that we got.
I got chills. What a great Christmas. And, that's going to be his Christmas story for the rest of his life. Mm-hmm. That's the one, his little Christmas miracle. So then when did they meet him? Like literally days before Christmas?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that they had... I don't know exactly how many days, but it had been less than a week that they were cleared to have him go to the house. And
what a blessing before he ages out. Mm-hmm. Because that's when he's going to need them the most. Because he's already been through the shit.
Then you're on the right now. There, of course, you have the state taking care of you, so they have him a place to stay, and they come and check on him. But that's all he had.
He's 17.
Didn't have anybody who cared about him. He didn't have any way to contact anybody. He didn't have anything to his name, really.
Yeah.
And so now you have a whole ass family.
Yeah, a bunch of brothers. You got a bunch of brothers.
You got a bunch of people to play with.
Well, and on top of that, he's got brothers that can understand where he's coming from.
Exactly, yeah.
And he may not be thankful for that yet because it's like, one more person with problems. But in the end, I bet there's some bonds formed among them that you can't, get anywhere else.
I know.
So cool. That's a great story to end with. That's man, your mom is a freaking saint.
She is. She's driving herself crazy. We were hiding in the kitchen because she was like, because they all compete for her time and attention though.
What does that sound like? My house.
So they take turns coming into the kitchen, telling her doing so, or tattletelling.
She needs an apron.
She does.
I gotta get her an apron.
She got a hippopotamus. She got a little play hippopotamus because she always sings that I want a hippopotamus for Christmas song. So my sister got her a stuffed hippo, and she was like, I'm tired of kids coming and tattling on stuff. And from now on, if you have something to tattle on, you tell it to the hippo. So it's a tattle hippo, and then if it's a tattle, you have to go tell it to the hippo.
I appreciate that. That is too
And
funny.
they had to buy a new Roomba because their old little Roomba thing died, and Joseph named the Roomba Clean Latifah. I was like, yeah, you can stay.
I love it. Clean Latifah. I like Joseph.
I do too.
That's pretty funny.
I'm like, you picked a good one, Mom. You picked a good one.
We approve. That's too cute. Well, I like it. That's a good Christmas story. Man, that was the right. I don't even want to talk about anything else. I don't think we do anything
We're
else.
good.
But,
Yeah.
yeah. So Happy New Year, everybody. And
As soon as we get these, we'll have them out for you. If we get our one out, or if we get both of them out, we'll put them both out this week if we can.
yeah, we're going to try.
We want to get back on track.
Yeah. And we'll be back next year.
Yes. See you guys next year.
See you later.
We love y'all.
Love y'all.